Since Fallout 76 release, things have gone as bad as they could have for Bethesda, and arguably even before release day, things were pretty bad. But after controversy after controversy, I think we can all agree that Bethesda was not ready for a multiplayer game, and at the very least, for something they defined as being scary and new for them, more development time should have been invested instead of, well, rushing to October with a joke of a beta, which really was just early access for an unfinished mess of a game that critics and users both overwhelmingly disliked. See, I never was crazy about Fallout 76 being an online-only survival game. When that E3 showcase came about and Todd Howard revealed what Fallout 76 was, I was extremely disappointed like many, but I was at the very least optimistic that I could get some enjoyment out of the game, as Bethesda's still MIA Vice President of Marketing Pete Hines really emphasized pre-release the game could be enjoyed solo, which, for my time playing the game, it just gets pretty darn boring fast solo. And even the real players you encounter in the world, there is no mystery or worry because almost every time they just ignore your existence if you get near to them. But two problems really have plagued the actual game of Fallout 76, the numerous bugs and the lack of content. We all knew that after Fallout 76 was released, the focus would be on patching and fixing up the game for the next few months. There was just too many issues for anyone to realistically believe big new content would be arriving in the first few months. Now, this may surprise some people, but there is a pretty decently sized Fallout 76 community that is sticking with the game and are hopeful that long-term Bethesda will transform Fallout 76 into something much better than what was delivered on November 14th. Although I've noticed that the community really has started to unravel since the beginning of 2019, and some of you might recall the big issue that was hurting the game a few weeks ago was exploiters or dupers who are taking advantage of the broken state that is Fallout 76. Many players or cheaters, whatever you want to call them, were turning Fallout 76 glitches into massive paydays by duplicating the most valuable items and then selling them on various online websites including eBay. The thing is, there have been various duplication glitches found since release. Whenever Bethesda has patched an exploit, it seems a new one has been found soon after, which, as many players have noted, this could be detrimental to an online game like Fallout 76. There have been players running around with inventories full of millions of bobbleheads and other items which were making servers unstable, as well as some players using these duplication glitches with other glitches to increase the damage of legendary weapons into the hundreds of thousands, which in turn allows these exploiters to one-shot a Scorchbeast Queen. Anyway, that's a simplified version of how exploiters have ruined Fallout 76, and the problem really only was addressed once it was revealed that players on PC had found a way into a secret dev room which contained every item in the game, as well as unreleased content. Yeah, and some people were actually taking the items that were stored in this room and selling them online and just taking them back into the regular gameplay of Fallout 76, something that is unfair, and it's quite simply cheating, and something that, like I said earlier, could be detrimental to an online game like Fallout 76. Oh, and there was also a human NPC in the secret room named Whoopi, who is used likely for testing reasons. But what Bethesda has done, at the start of the month they patched the latest duplication method. Anyone accessing the secret dev room was automatically getting banned, which was a good start, but soon after they had to take the game offline for a few hours after another duplication method was found, which involved players taking servers offline, which forced Bethesda into taking immediate action. Thankfully, as far as I understand, after that action was taken, there wasn't any duplication methods lingering around. But as I noted in a previous video, if Bethesda really wants to fix things, they need to start to target those who have inventories like this one, which based on the contents of this new update, looks like Bethesda finally has taken action by adding a carry weight cap which is 1,500 pounds over a player's current maximum carry weight. So yes, good news finally for Fallout 76, except as one problem gets fixed, more are introduced, which is what's angering many Fallout 76 players right now. Based on reports given on the Fallout and Fallout 76 subreddits as well as the Bethesda Forums, looks like the latest patch has brought some major problems back. As Redditor GXKid posted on the Fallout subreddit, the last Fallout 76 patch is a disaster and Bethesda now silently deletes/removes threads and users from their forum over it. He would further state, "So it seems we have finally reached peak incompetence and damage control over at Bethesda. In case you haven't heard, today's update of the game reintroduced a few old bugs into the game, like the bobby pin weight, bulked items not working properly, fusion core spawn rate at workshops being too low by a factor of 10 down to 0.8 instead of 8 8 per hour, and it looks like duping is back on the menu. The way it's looking right now, everything points to them having based this patch on an older build, hence the old squashed bags coming back to life, and even duping working again. Check eBay, and you will see how much the duping exploits are really fixed, and he's right, eBay is filled with items once again, although I'm unsure if it ever really stopped. But really, I'm just not surprised at all anymore. I just have a blank face to news like this because it's become the norm with Bethesda. Now, even going to the Fallout 76 subreddit, which is filled with hardcore fans of the game, they seem pissed with what's been happening. Redditor Destiny Hunter 2018 posting on the Fallout 76 subreddit, "Time for a change of leadership in Fallout 76 development," and he would state in his post, "This is not dev bashing, this is an observable truth and a legitimate concern for the studio and its employees. For the future of the product as a service we all paid money to enjoy. There's no excuse for what happened with today's patch. None. First and unfortunately least of all, Bethesda nerfed perks that make repair costs less tedious. Their reason? The perks are overperforming. Well, of course they are. Without, the game is tedious. With them, the game is much less tedious." Continuing further down into this post, "Bobby pins are heavier again. Ultra-wide support, a standard in PC gaming for years now, is once more broken, and loading bugs have returned, all of which making it obvious that this patch rolled back the version of the game we have to a version with heinous bugs and visual issues. This is a gross and unforgivable level of incompetence. Observably, factually, it is time for a change of leadership in Fallout 76 development. I am not asking for someone to be fired, mistakes can be redeemed, people can learn and adapt. Let the person or people in charge take a step back and learn from someone else for a while. It is high time for real leadership in Fallout 76 development. A very public, openly communicated change needs to take place, because otherwise, this game is as good as dead. The reputation, deserved or otherwise, I won't even get into that here, except to say that the launch state is still not that of a finished, polished product months after release. It was never good. But this on top of everything else, Bethesda PR should expect another YouTube, Kotaku Gaming Press, crapstorm of bad press, and this time as a company, they deserve it. So my assumption is that Bethesda Austin is the only one working on the game anymore. Probably the other studios are concentrating on Starfield and whatever other games that they're developing, like their mobile Elder Scrolls Blades. Clearly the studio of Bethesda Austin was not ready for this responsibility. I've honestly never seen an online game or any game mismanaged this badly ever. It's actually shocking that these problems keep going on and on. Like, I guarantee the problems with this update will be fixed soon, but it doesn't change that they still happened. Now, looking at the rest of this Fallout 76 subreddit, it's just in shambles right now, with various problems being stated and reported. I applaud the Bethesda community managers for being so active, but it's a lot of the same answers. We'll send your feedback to the team, which at this point, I doubt they are paying too much attention to any suggestions or feedback. I mean, just right now, here are some of the top upvoted posts. "Dear Bethesda, I think your new patch screwed up more than it fixed. Solution, shut your servers down and fix your issues. Bethesda, please don't make Fallout 76 the joke of the video gaming community for the next 10 years. Maybe a little too late for that. But also, "Dear Bethesda community manager, stop saying that the dev team is aware of so-and-so. They are clearly not." Additionally, the Bethesda Forums are pretty much the same story. There was also a report earlier in this video that I mentioned that threads are being deleted. Not too sure about that, that's unverified. But players are angry for various reasons. You have one thread titled, "Why you lost half the player base in one day." Another, "Vote to undo 129.19 update." I mean, it's just a mess right now. It's also not like this update is the only problem that players have had in recent days, as Bethesda announcing the brand new survival mode rubbed many the wrong way, mainly because there's a feeling within the community that PvP being fixed should be the last on the list of new content. But then again, I think that there's a feeling that this is much easier to do in a quicker span of time, so Bethesda got a little lazy and went with this instead of, creating some actual good new content. Additionally, you have top Reddit posts like this one, "Bethesda, Fallout has always been a PvE game. WTF are you doing wasting resources on a PvP mode right now?" I mean, again, it's easier. As Reddit user Arcanian88 would state further down the post, "Why the heck is Bethesda currently devoting a large amount of resources to create and then beta test and refine a new PvP mode this early in the game's creation, when a huge majority of players are only interested in PvE? Why is the minority being catered to? Why are the players' wishes falling to deaf ears of developers who only wish to add, fix, and change what they deem worthy versus letting the players decide? I'll tell you this, Bethesda, the endgame content in this game is currently significantly pathetic. You will continually lose players each and every week as they become either completely and utterly bored, fed up, or hopeless with this game. We need more endgame PvE content. Having one raid boss every 3 to 4 months will cause your player population to never achieve its full potential, or even close. Who's even going to play these PvP servers when all the geared players who would potentially enter it have all quit from absolute boredom? Now, there's also been problems already noticed with this survival mode, which is the fact that players can bring their current PvE characters onto these PvP focused servers, which doesn't make any sense at all. Redditor Berthead stating, "This is a huge mistake. The mode is already dead before it was born if this happens. PvP as it is completely broken. One hit kill festival. Who in their right mind is going to start a new character when everyone else is level 200 with god tier weaponry right out of their vault? This makes absolutely zero sense, and I'm so disheartened. Do they not realize how this mode will be immediately ruined? If you thought griefing was bad now, just wait until you get killed on site by literally everyone you cross paths with. Even if they level lock servers so people with massive level differences can't play together, whenever a new survival character gets out of the kiddie pool, all the same a-holes with TSE garbage will be waiting at the deep end, and you will have zero competitive chance." So yes, the only way that this mode would work would be with completely new characters, and look, just what a disaster Fallout 76 continues to be. Many are upset that this mode is even getting attention right now, while others already see it broken before it even launched. In conclusion, just more Fallout 76 problems from most likely Bethesda's Austin studio, who clearly was not ready for this responsibility. I keep thinking this can't get worse, but for some reason, somehow Bethesda keeps finding new ways to anger and disappoint their most loyal fans who are, well, they've been trying to stick with this game. Just what a mess. Every time something gets resolved and Bethesda takes one step forward, they find a way to take a step 100 times backwards. Like, Bethesda's community managers have said that they are investigating, and I mean, the update actually looked pretty good. A lot of people were excited about the changes and the fixes coming, and it looked good on paper before it was, implemented and all these unexpected issues returned. I'm sure that these current issues will get fixed, hopefully fast, but I have no faith that this will be the end, and everything will be smooth sailing going forward. We're nearing 3 months of failure after failure, and it's quite remarkable that this just won't stop. If you look to all the gaming controversies, whether that be No Man's Sky or Star Wars Battlefront 2 that happened the last few years, none of them lasted and went on this long. Just crazy. Anyway, what do you make of everything that we discussed in this video? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and consider subscribing for more videos like this, and I'll see you later.